Hey guys, Bird Yu-Gi-Oh here. So today I'm coming at you with my updated Ancient Warriors deck. It did just get some new support, which is actually really good. And the new spell card and then a new monster card that are excellent for the deck. It's a really fun deck. Definitely not meta because it does have some major weaknesses, but the strengths, I mean, it can pretty much blow up any board or most boards. It does have trouble with like heavy back row decks. It just can't really outgrind them. What this deck does best is go second, destroy the board, get a ton of monsters on the field, and attack and win. And also, if you are going first, it can put up some disruptions. It doesn't really put up much negates. There is one card in the main deck that can negate. But other than that, it's just going to be popping stuff, returning stuff to the hand, which is still decent and can obviously disrupt your opponent quite a bit. But yeah, the glaring weakness is obviously just not being able to put up many negates and trouble against just heavy back row decks. It doesn't really have many ways of dealing with that. But yeah, let's get into it. This is still just a really, like I said, a really fun deck and fairly budget. There's not many expensive cards in this. So yeah, let's start off with our level 4 monsters. Masterful Sun Mu is probably your best one as far as the lower level ones. This one, you can just send one card from your hand or field to the graveyard and add any Ancient Warriors monster from your deck to your hand. Very good. And then actually it has another effect if another Ancient Warriors monster effect is activated. You can target one monster your opponent controls and return it to the hand. Very good. The other one we kind of want to start with, if we can, is Virtuous Lu Juan. Now this one, if your opponent has to control more monsters than you do, and then you can send one card from your hand or field to the graveyard and special summon any Ancient Warriors from your deck. So that can put up a negate if you special summon Zhuge Kong, or if you add this to your hand, you can also special summon it. And then when a spell or a trap card is activated, you can just send a face-up Ancient Warriors continuous spell or trap to the graveyard to negate it. So this is your one negate basically of the deck. And then when a monster effect is activated, while you control Lu Juan, so you have to control him, you can then send a face-up continuous to the graveyard and negate a monster effect activation. So we played just 2 of him. Definitely not a card you always need to see, but you want to like special summon him or add him to the hand by the effect of Ancient Warriors, and then you can just special summon him for free. And that's it for the low level ones. We just play the best ones. And then for the high level, my favorite one is Rebellious Lu Feng. So this one, you can just special summon it by controlling an Ancient Warriors with the highest attack. So just control another monster and you can just special summon this for free. And then you can, once per turn during the main phase, and it's a quick effect, you can just destroy one face-up monster your opponent controls with the highest attack. And it's your choice if it's tied. So that's just a really good interruption. And then the only problem with this card is during the end phase, if your opponent controls a monster with the highest attack on the field, which a lot of the branded decks, they can get some high attack monsters on the field. You give control of this to your opponent. So that's the only issue, but you do have a way of getting it back pretty easily. So very good card otherwise. And then the newest addition to the deck is Savage Don Ying. He's a level 6. While you control a level 7 or higher Ancient Warriors monster, your opponent must pay 400 life points to activate a card or effect. So it's decent burn damage, nothing really to say there. But his main effect is if he's normal or special summoned, you can add any level 7 or higher Ancient Warriors monster. So that's like Lu Feng or some of the other ones we have here. Or one Ancient Warriors continuous spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So you can either search one of your continuous spells or a high-level Ancient Warriors monster. And then if a monster is sent to your opponent's graveyard, you can target one card in your opponent's graveyard and banish it, and then draw a card. So perfect addition to the deck, really good. And with the spell card, it's super easy to get him out. So it seems like it might be difficult. But yeah, we'll get to the spell card. That's really good. And then we play 2 Loyal Guan Yun. This one, your opponent has to control a monster, and then you can special summon this. Your opponent cannot target other Ancient Warriors you control with card effects. And then if they control more monsters, you can just target a monster they control and destroy it. So very good card. And then the last Ancient Warriors monster we play is Valiant Zheng Di. You have to control 2 or more Ancient Warriors, and you can just special summon this from your hand. And if your opponent controls more monsters, this card can make 2 attacks on monsters during the battle phase this turn. So decent enough, high attack, pretty good card. Then for the only other monsters we're playing, 3 Gameciel, and then 3 Ash Blossom. So for like branded fusion, this is definitely necessary. And then Gameciel, obviously, just if there's a crazy monster on the board, or even like an Appaloosa, that you need some of your monster effects to go off, just tribute it with a Gameciel, and then you should be able to get some effects off from there. But that is the monsters that we're playing. And then for the spells, the newest addition for those is Deception and Betrayal. So this one allows you to special summon an Ancient Warriors from your hand, and you take damage equal to its level times 100, so that's like no damage. And you can send this face-up card to the graveyard, target an Ancient Warriors monster on the field, change it to any attribute. Then if it was an opponent's monster, you take control of it. So that sounds kind of weird, but if you remember, Rebellious Lu Feng, if your opponent controls a monster with the highest attack, this goes to your opponent's possession. So if that's the case, you can just use Deception and Betrayal and then get this card back to your field. You'll take control of it again. So that's decent enough, but just being able to special summon any level Ancient Warriors from your hand is insane. So yeah, this card is crazy good. And then we of course play 3 visits, 3 of them. These are the most important Ancient Warriors spells. If you normal or special summon an Ancient Warriors monster, you can just search any Ancient Warriors with a different name, basically. And then if this is sent from the spell and trap zone to the graveyard, which you have a lot of ways of doing that, you can special summon an Ancient Warriors from your hand. So search one, and then be able to special summon that once this is sent to the grave. So very, very good. And then 1 East by South Winds. This basically, you want this to go to the grave, and then if it is, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to the activation of your Ancient Warriors cards or effects until the end of the turn. So this is very, very good. And then all Ancient Warriors effect monsters gain this effect when that effect goes off. When that monster declares an attack, you can destroy 1 card your opponent controls. So just yet another way, but it's not too important, so we play just 1. And then 1 Barring of Arrows. This one, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls and 1 Ancient Warriors. You have that opponent's monster's attack, and then you add that lost attack to your opponent. So if your opponent has a high attack that you need to obviously get over, Barring of Arrows is probably the best way of doing that. And then for the other spells, we need some draw power. Pot of Extravagance. We play 3 of the most important extra deck cards, so this does not hurt us. You don't really go into the extra deck too often. Then we of course play 2 Tenki. We'd play 3 if we could, but this just obviously allows you to search any of these. Usually it's going to be Lu Zhuan or Sun Mu. But it can be this as well, because you can special summon it with Deception, so very good. And then for going second, Harpy's Feather Duster, and 3 Evenly Match. That's what I decided to play in this. Basically, I've found if you have some crazy board, if you open with Gameciel and Evenly Matched, you should be able to get past that board, put up a few interruptions, or disruptions, and then be able to hopefully win from there. And then for the extra deck, we play 3 Double Dragon Lords. You make this with a Wind Ancient Warriors and any other Beast Warrior monster. All of your Ancient Warriors gain 500 attack and defense, and it allows you to search any Ancient Warriors card from your deck to your hand. And then its quick effect is you can just send one card from your hand or field to the graveyard, target a face-up card your opponent controls, and return it to the hand. So this is one of your best, first turn plays. If you have to go first, this is a really good way. Or after you do all your attacking and then main phase 2, sometimes it's just really nice to get this card. The only other card we play 3 of is Tiger King. This gets us to 10 key, and then it also negates the effects of all face-up effects monsters on the field except Beast Warrior type until the end of your opponent's turn. So this definitely is nice to have, and we definitely need it. With Extravagance in the deck, we need it at 3. And the other cards are just kind of generic ones that you can go into. Usually you don't. You want to just kind of keep your Ancient Warriors on the field. But we have Baguska, Tornado Dragon, Abyss Dweller, and Dugaris. This is sometimes cool to just double the attack of one of your monsters and then just attack like crazy. And then since we're playing all those, Double A Zeus is just another nice card to play. And then the only other links we're playing, obviously this we're going to go into as much as we can. We'll play Win to get a nice little special summon if your opponent happens to have a Win monster in their graveyard. Nightmare Cerberus and Phoenix go in second, so these come up. And then in Girsu is just non-targeting removal, basically. Non-targeting, non-destruction, just removal. So that is the deck, guys. Again, it's one of my favorite decks to just mess around with. It's really fun. Again, it's got some glaring weaknesses with not being able to put up many negates or deal with too many negates. But it is fun, and it can break boards super easily. Yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think, and we'll catch you on the next one.